Good morning, scholars. Today is Thursday, April 16th, and it is test day, our first assessment after our first ever unit of online learning. I'm so excited to see how you guys are going to do on this test. I want to go over just a couple of things before you begin your test. I want to make sure you know where to find your test, how to log into your test, how to find your login info for your test. I do want to celebrate 100% from yesterday and top Vista point earners for right now. We're getting close to Friday. And then I have two really helpful hints for your test. One is about a question that actually is extra credit that I think will be really helpful for you to know. And then one that's about a question, just exactly how to type it in. Should be a pretty short video, and then you guys can dive right into that assessment. All right, let's kick it off with some shoutouts for 100%. Yesterday, it was a tough one. However, scholars who were following along with the video, taking great notes, using those on their independent practice did really well. We didn't have quite as many 100%. We did have a ton of 6 out of 7, which is still a great score, but want to give a special shout out to 10 Beats, Dillery, Emmanuel, Danya, Abimael, Corday, Aiden, and Dame. Really nice work on that 100% yesterday. Can tell you were paying really close attention, double checking your work, really double checking where your decimal point goes. I'm so excited to see these 100% on your test today. As always, let's take a look at who is in the lead with our Vista virtual points. So starting first with Hadley, Emmanuel still maintaining a strong lead with 31 points. Anira in a close second place. Wow, that means Emmanuel gets 31 tickets to enter to the raffle to win the pizza delivery at his house. And Naira gets 29 tickets to enter. We know there's also really fun prizes for our top 5 earners, our top 10 earners. So take a quick look, see if you can find your name. We got some close 3rd and 4th points with 10 Beat, Lyric, Amelia. Look at all these scholars over 20, over 10. Remember, you're earning these points by completing assignments on time, by showing academic excellence in both your reading and math class, by attending lunch, meetings with Mr. Augusta, by coming to office hours, by coming to reteach. So see if you can find your name. For my friends down here at the bottom of the list, time to step it up, see if you can earn a few more points. Huge shout out. Looks like our top 10 right now goes through Andrews. We have prizes for those top 10 and above. Cannot wait to celebrate tomorrow and cannot wait to see our winner. All right, and then kicking it over to Maryvale. Let's take a look at your points. Wow, Madeline in a strong lead with 29. Must be because Madeline is coming to so many office hours, doing so much extra math work to get caught up. Monica looking good. Dame, Tatiana all looking good. See if you can find your name. Maryvale. Marybelle, we still have some friends with 0 points. Your challenge for today, get those assignments turned in on time, get those great 100% or 90% or even 80%, come to office hours, come to reteach, go to social lunch, read your minutes on Lexia. All these are great ways to earn those points. But huge shout out to our friends at the tippy top. Really excited for the competition tomorrow. All right, before I dive into directions for your test today, I did want to go over 2 questions from yesterday's practice that just gave us just a little bit of trouble. Surprisingly, these were 2 of actually the easier questions, and you'll see questions just like this on your test today. Question number 1, 9 hundredths times 3. I think our biggest mistake here was that some scholars just thought it was a division problem. You did 9 divided by 3 and got to an answer of 3. Please double check what symbol. Remember that this test is on both multiplying and dividing. If I were to solve this problem, I would start by rewriting it on my paper exactly the way it's written on my computer. A couple different things I could do. Now, I know that 9 times 3 is 27. And now I just need to figure out where my decimal goes. Well, I don't have any digits after the decimal point over here in 3, but I have 1, 2 digits after the decimal point over here in my 900s. That means I need to move it 1, 2 places to get to an answer of 2700s. The other thing I could do is I could set it up like the standard algorithm. 900ths times 3. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 0 is 0 plus 2. Great, still get 27. Now I need to add in my decimal point, so I count my digits 1, 2, 1, 2 to get 2700ths. That should be a pretty easy, breezy one. Should not see mistakes on that one. The other question that we had just some silly mistakes on was actually question number 2. Question number 2 is asking for an expression that shows the correct strategy and product for 5/10 times 8/10. So first I'm going to write it down as a decimal, just like it is in my problem. And then I notice that all of these are fractions. So on my scrap paper, I'm going to first write this out as fractions. The nice thing about decimals like this is when I read it, I'm actually saying the fractions. So 5/10 times 8/10. And this is where 5th grade, many of us made a very, I'm going to be honest, a very embarrassing mistake. We forgot how to multiply fractions. When we multiply fractions, first we multiply our numerators, then we multiply our denominators. And so as I multiply, I would do 5 times 8 is 40. I would not just put that over 10 and keep my denominator the same, because that's not how we multiply fractions. I would have to multiply my denominators. 10 times 10 is actually 100. So I get to an answer of 40 hundredths. This makes sense because if I was multiplying with decimals, I would say 5 times 8 is 40. And then I would count the digits after the decimal point. 1, 2. I would move my decimal 1, 2. And we know 40 hundredths is equivalent to 40 hundredths. Not the same as 40 tenths, not the same at all. So now I need to go back and look through my multiple choice options to see which one matches. Well, 5/10 times 8/10 equals 40 tenths. That's that mistake many of us made. I'm not going to get tricked and pick that one. 5/100 times 8/10 equals 40 hundredths. Now I have 40 hundredths. Now I have the correct product, but my first digit is not 5 hundredths. 5/10 times 8/10 equals 13/20. Luckily, nobody picks this one. 5/10 times 8/10 equals 40 hundredths. This is my correct choice. All right. I should not see any of those silly mistakes on our test today. So let's dive in and take a look at how we actually go about taking our test. So today when you log in and you go to classwork, you're going to see your assignment under daily lessons today is just going to be called the name of your test, grade 5, investigations, unit 7 quiz. When you click on it, notice the directions are reminding you that you must watch the video before you take the assessment. Of course, you have already done that. You're already watching the video now. I am going to give you some very important directions for your test. You'll watch this video. You're already doing that. And then you are going to click down here where it says sign into your Google account. This will actually take you to Illuminate. So your test today is not going to be a Google form. It is going to be on Illuminate, just like it would be if you were at school. Now, what's cool about this test is you don't need to enter a code for a test. Normally your teachers would write the code on the board, all those letters. You don't need to do that. It's already going to be in there. What you do need is your student ID. This is that ID that is just your ID. Remember, everybody types in a different ID. Now, you guys were really good at remembering those, but that was 5 weeks ago when we were back in school. There's a chance that you may have forgotten what your student ID is. So watch very carefully so you know the steps for finding it. It'd be a really smart idea to write it down somewhere safe because starting next week, we're going to be doing a lot of things on the computer on Illuminate, and it'll just be nice to have that ID. So before you even log into Google to take your test, ask yourself, do I know my student ID? If you don't, what you'll need to do is you need to go look it up, and it's written in your ELA classroom. So I need to leave my math class. I need to go to my ELA class. I'm going to click on classwork. And then I know if I scroll down, past daily lessons, past class archive, we have our student login. This shouldn't be new information for anyone because everyone's been using this to log into Lexia. Now remember, it's in reverse alphabetical order. So Danya, who's usually at the very bottom, the very last one in the alphabet, Danya, you actually get to be first this time. So think about where your name is in the alphabet. If your name is before R, you're going to need to click on View More, and more names will come up. If you have a name at the beginning of the alphabet, like Jane Cresswell with a C, you're going to have to go all the way to the very beginning to find it. But every scholar is in there. All right, so once you find your name, let's just say that you're Abimael and you found your name. Abimael is going to click on his name, and he's going to click Abimael, just like you would for your Lexia information. It's going to open up a form for him. And here is his Illuminate login. So Abimael would probably write this down so he has this information because he's going to be using it again. So that is where you would find your Illuminate login. If anyone is sending me a message saying I can't get logged in, I'm going to say, please go back to the video. It has all of the steps. So after he wrote that down, he can close out of his name. He can now go back to his math class. And now he can take his test. All right, 2 important announcements about your test, and then you guys can go ahead and begin. When you are taking your test, the first question I want to talk about is question number 10. Question 10, it's a word problem, and it has 2 parts, a part A and a part B. And then it has a humongous box that looks like it's asking for like a paragraph response or an essay. You do not need to write a paragraph. You do not need to write an essay. You do not even need to write a complete sentence. What you can do, once you've solved it on your scrap paper and you know how much 5 coffees will cost, you can write part A and then write your answer. Now, this is not the correct answer. Do not put this down, but let's just say I wanted to say, 5 coffees is going to cost $1.32. Clearly, that is wrong. Nobody should put that. But I would just write part A. Notice I did not write in a complete sentence. I did not write a paragraph. I don't need to write out 5 coffees will cost this much. All I'm doing is writing my answer. Then there's also a part B. So I would go skip 1 line and write part B. I would solve it on my paper. It's asking us to round to the nearest whole dollar. And so if I wanted to round my $1.32, again, that's not the right answer, to the nearest whole dollar, I know that just rounds to $1. And that's how I would write part B. So please do not get tricked. These are not the correct answers. Clearly, nobody should be saying that 5 coffees cost $1.32. Do make sure you answer part A and part B. And do notice I did not write in a complete sentence. I did not write a paragraph. I did not write an essay. I just wrote part A, answer, part B, answer. All right, my final information for you before you begin your test is about question number 9. Question number 9 is actually an extra credit question. I want everyone to try it, still try to solve it and put in your answer, but just know this is actually a 6th grade question. Try your best. It's totally okay to get it wrong. If you get it right, it will count as extra credit. So I want everyone to try it, but don't panic thinking, oh no, I don't know how to solve this. You're right, you probably don't know how to solve it. Just try your best. All right. That is it for my announcements. Best of luck on your test. Again, all of your directions for logging in and finding your student ID number are right in this video. So now that you are done watching, you know exactly how to log in. If I receive any messages saying I don't know how to log in or I can't find my student ID number, I'm just going to direct you back to the video. So hopefully you listened really carefully and you are ready to go with your test. You will not get your score right away, unlike on a Google form where it pops up. You won't see your score yet, but I'll have those graded for you by tomorrow, and you can check out your scores then. All right, great luck. Cannot wait to